Well, it turns out that there are many, many, many other variables that have nothing to do with the methylation cycle directly that influence potently methylation, and in particular DNA methylation. And so we wanted those pieces in our study as well. The first one is exercise. Exercise can turn back on those all-important tumor suppressor genes as effective as a polyphenol, as resveratrol. I mean, isn't that crazy? It's so cool. And the older we are, so you and I can listen to this, the older we are, the more bang for our buck that we actually get with exercise in terms of turning on genes that we want on and turning off genes that we want off. So exercise is incredibly important in regulating gene expression. And it's not couch to CrossFit. It's a consistent habit that works for you. We prescribed a very modest 5 days a week, minimum of a half an hour, 60 to 80% perceived exertion. So we weren't asking our participants to go to the CrossFit gym and break themselves up into pieces. In fact, there's some evidence that that may be excessive and actually pro-aging. Right. Anybody who has ever performed at that level, I used to be a competitive athlete. I know, after your season, you get really sick. Everyone gets sick. It's kind of crazy, right? I used to get a sinus infection after my biking season. So just 30 minutes, 5 days a week at a minimum of a half an hour, 60% to 80%. So I can carry on a conversation. I might be a little bit sweaty. I might be puffing a little bit, but it's not too crazy.
So for most people, walking would do that.
Perfectly. Yeah. Walking would, and a lot of our participants actually did start to walk. A couple of guys walked to work and back, and walking would, but you know what? You can do whatever you like. I mean, there's even research out there on house cleaning, which I find surprising. I would not volunteer for that study myself, but anyway, some people would.
That's not one that I'd get dressed up for in workout clothes and go to.
Right. So exercise is a hugely important thing, the value of which it's just so unequivocal in the science. The next thing is sleep. Yeah. If we're not sleeping, if we are not adequately sleeping at night, it is pro-aging, period. I mean, the science is really clear in animals and as well as humans in the damage that it can bring. And conversely, quality sleep is the reverse. So we wanted our participants to go for about 7 hours at least a night. Obviously, we can't make people sleep in our study, but we actually had our nutrition team, members of our nutrition team here, work with our participants through the study and give them sleep hygiene tips, just kind of rally around basic stuff. Is your room dark? Is your partner snoring? Is there a dog in your bed? Is it too hot? Just those basic tips to support them in getting adequate sleep. So the science on genetic expression and sleep is just really good. The third arm was stress reduction or meditation. We prescribed a twice daily relaxation response protocol. So 10 to 20 minutes twice per day. So a minimum of 20 minutes total daily. Of the many ahas, another one for me was on the clock, looking at biological aging, and the clock that we used, 25% of it responds to glucocorticoids. So stress drives a full 25% of this biological age measurement. It's nuts, Tom. Like, it's crazy how potent stress pushes aging forward. And we see it across the board at all life stages. So we can see in utero stress or early infant or total life stress or PTSD, et cetera, et cetera. You can see the stress response pushing biological aging, increasing risk of chronic disease. And I want to say, if we have time, we can talk about it. There's a heritability pattern. So it can change gene expression, from mom to fetus in utero, but even previous generations, this can influence. However, so here's the good news. Yeah, stress can drive forward biological aging. Boom, it's there. In fact, there was just a study published early this year in the journal Aging where we published ours looking at just this sort of in utero stress exposure. When mom had adverse childhood experiences. So long before she was pregnant, she had gene expression changes that then influenced offspring and made those kids age inappropriately faster. So it's all over the place. But thank God, I want to just say important is there are things that we can do about it. And that's where this meditation comes in. Of course, thinking about our diet and lifestyle and all of the components to set us up. But one meditation, so when they look at epigenetic expression, they showed just one meditation event had favorable changes to gene expression. So it's, for me, it doesn't mean I have to climb up, the mountain to the monastery and sit in silence for the next 20 years to reap the benefits of meditation. One meditation event actually favorably changed expression. However, practiced meditators are biologically younger. So the lesson on gene expression is that, yep, anything that we make towards the right direction is going to help us and not harm us. And we need to hang in there also. We need to do the best to hang in there also. And so the science on meditation or Tai Chi or yoga, and favorable epigenetic expression, including biological age, is really pretty good.
That's really marvelous information. And it's not extremely difficult to sit quiet for 10 minutes twice a day.
Or start, as I wrote in the book, just do a minute. There's an app that I love, the Healthy Minds app out of the University of Wisconsin. Actually, one of their guys spoke at our annual conference, the Institute for Functional Medicine's annual conference last year. It's a free app. You can just download it for free. And they've got 1 minute meditations. They've got meditations when you're exercising. They have meditations when you're commuting. I mean, I'm not working for them or anything like that, but I've kind of fallen in love with the app. He said at the conference, Tom, he's like, we would never leave our house without brushing and flossing. We would never leave our house with bad breath. So we have this attachment to oral hygiene. Who's paying attention to brain hygiene? We can leave our home. Often we do, right? With insane mind. So yeah. it just really put it into perspective. Like, we'll brush our teeth, but we're not paying attention to our brain health. And I think they're kind of pulling the branch down and making it doable for all of us, regardless of how busy we are.